So, und hier haben wir Game 1 nicht mitbekommen, aber das passt trotzdem. Das neue Spieler sehr nice wäre jetzt hier der Leo Sauer. Würde lügen, wenn ich sage, ich habe ein einziges Spiel von ihm gesehen. Würde ich, also ich habe den Namen auch noch nie gehört. Aber das ist gut, dass er dein Baller ist.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Red Bull gives you wings. So, jetzt noch hier kurz LCK. 6-2. 6-7.
바르고 깎고 깎고 면도 쉽게 가자. 부드럽게 쓱 매끈하게 싹 면도.
Das ist Spieltag 2 der App. LCK.
쓱싹 씻고 바르고 깎고 깎고 면도 쉽게 가자. 부드럽게 쓱 매끈하게 싹.
Simon ist geplant, aber der ist raus bis wahrscheinlich, realistisch Oktober, right? Wenn's reicht. Und keine Ahnung. Ich habe einen Namen wurde rumgeworfen, den ich gehört habe, aber den Namen habe ich wieder vergessen. Ja. Nübel, ja, es beschickt das. Beschickt das. So, hier geht's in 3 Minuten weiter. Ich hol mir kurz mein Porridge. Oder machen wir kurz mein Porridge. Wie gleich.
The Infinite Precision Armrest is part of the larger Circulab on Stage standard initiative aimed to bring your home or training room settings to the tournament stage.
이제 저뿐만 아니라 다른 선수들도 세팅을 더 원활하게 할 것 같고
가장 편안할 때 더 강력한 플레이가 자연스럽게 나옵니다.
Every sky is a line I'm drawn. Cut by cut, mark by mark, my name forever in the stone.
Hello everyone, welcome back to this Thursday at the LCK. It is some Rise Group action as BNK FearX strike first against the DN Automotive Supers. Degon here alongside Ox and Wadid. And DNS still searching for answers, still trying to find something to get themselves their second series win, but BNK FearX put a stop to that.
And I've said this like 17 times now, there's not many games in the Rise group, in the Legend group. It's only 8 matches per team, so you don't have much time to turn things around. They really need series wins when they're already so far down in the standings, and this was not a great start for them in this one.
They got the new jungles, and I think they had enough time to repair something that they couldn't really do something. But I guess it's literally the same DNS that we knew before, and it's kind of depressing, right? I think it all started from the draft, though.
Did you do that on purpose? 17 times? 1 in 17 DNS? As we take a look at the draft here. Go ahead, what jumps out at you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, DNS tried to adapt on the new meta, which is AP bot mage picks, but I don't think this concept is gonna work into this one because the point is that you have to at least have the lane priority, or you have to get some win some trades on the bot side. Otherwise, I don't think you are willing to have the under turret your AP mage on the under turret, right? Because your support can't roam because he's gonna get dove, and enemy AD carry is just farming up, right?
And I think in this game, there was so much freedom for the Shen and the Lee Sin. Lee Sin is a Jarvan, really comfortable matchup, but also like a Rel is a bit of a slower engaged support, so very easy to just outplay that with the mobility. And the fact that you could just move around, make plays, to Shen as well, ever present, and into a team composition that was very bursty. There's not that much sustained damage here for DNS. So when they fell behind, even when they tried to make better plays, better team fights, they just couldn't cut through targets quickly enough.
Well, let's show how they fell behind. It started off on the bottom side of the map where Victor was just dying a lot here with it.
Yeah, so the point of the AP bot mage is to neutralize the lane and let your support to roam around the map. But here, they already got punished so many times, and there's no counterplay. It was really great play by Kellen. But again, they tried to do something on the top lane and try to defend the bot at the same time, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, and this is kind of a crazy one because they put so many resources in the top lane, and it's negated by the presence of Kellen, which is a great sort of lean up there to block them trying to overload. But the TP down here just leaves you exposed, and it felt like DNS were trying to, okay, our play top hasn't worked, we need to compensate, get someone down bot lane immediately, and it just felt like a really rapid and kind of rushed reaction that ends up getting punished and just puts his Victor further and further behind.
And because of that, I think BNK FearX managed to secure the third Drake in 17 minutes, which is quite impressive number here.
And, you know, Ocean Soul is a soul that we often don't rate too high, but into a composition, as I said before, quite bursty, and they're behind. It means that when you don't kill that target with the initial salvo, they just start healing back up, and it becomes a bit of a pain point for them.
Yeah, and I thought the cast did a great job highlighting. It was just that little bit of damage that DNS were missing to get those kills. And then finally here at 23 minutes, after an attempt to try and assassinate Vikla on the top side of the map, they tried to take control of the Drake and walk into death.
And the thing here, the flash from Taeyun is great, but it just means the follow-up isn't there. They don't have the damage to kill him. They end up turning that damage round onto the Rumble, but the Rumble's already done his job, dropped the equalizer, and that gives so much freedom for Raptor to fly in and continue to clean up these kills. And he was just completely on fire this game, so smooth on this Lee Sin.
So going back to the draft plan again for DNS, they had the AP bot, but they couldn't really push the lane. They couldn't really do anything in the early game. And also, they couldn't really outscale them because Corki was already too fat. So I think they should like figure out what they want to do on the bot lane, because again, it's Doc and Peter struggling for their team, because this is not that you could see it from them last year, right? I think they need to figure it out on the bot lane. It's quite depressing here.
This feels like what we talked about yesterday. I think it was with Nongshim and Kiwoom DRX, where their draft plan and what they're doing didn't quite line up. Here, it's nothing really kind of lined up here for DNS, and this has been part of the season for them. And if they want to get those things to change, you really got to line up something and build upon it. But when you fall behind this early, it just makes it so difficult in this meta.
It makes it so difficult when you're not the ones who can sort of have the agency make the plays. And I just feel like, you know, we had the initial LCK Cup where things went okay for DNS, and then regular season, that first series win, a big struggle. And I think it really feel bad, not only in terms of the fact they don't have much space to turn it around, but in the fact that, like, if you just start off with a loss again after that big break, it makes you think that all that work we've put in hasn't really come together, and we don't have much time to fix it.
A lot of this post-game focus has been on DNS. However, BNK FearX, they played well. They put the pressure on. They got themselves the first game win. Let's see if they're able to clean sweep it here, a 2-0, or we'll go into game number 3.
We'll just have to find out, Digon, as, yes, BNK FearX looking absolutely fantastic in that first game, but I understand why the space would be talking mainly about the DN Supers, because the depression continues.
Yeah, unfortunately, that last game wasn't very inspiring. The draft had some pretty narrow win conditions, and just generally speaking, the game, they couldn't find any entry points. I think the Des did a really good job of breaking down the few errors that DNS made in that game, and especially the Victor teleport. But otherwise, they just weren't given any ins, right? It was a very oppressive game by BNK FearX. Now, as we move into game 2, we'll see what kind of draft we get here for the Supers. Maybe that could be the first step to turning things around.
Exactly right. And a 17-match losing streak is a difficult thing to overcome, right? They have picked up a smattering of best-of-3 victories in Road to EWC and in the Kesper Cup, things like this, but it's not the LCK. This is where they need to be finding that level of success. We'll see whether that is going to start here with a comeback victory in this series,
So.
or whether B&K FierX are going to be the squad to get their first 2-0 in the Rise group. There is the Orianna ban and the Poppy, so we are not really straying from where the bans were last time. Lock also taken away, but that is just going to be kind of a swap.
So, Lock, I think, is just going to fit in this spot pretty much every time, but usually it would be in this case for the team that's second pick, so they ban it.
Quid meinte in der LCS, dass du gelockt nicht blind picken kannst, wenn Akali ab ist. Das war sein Read.
Oftentimes in my mind, in counter picks, you have a lot of agency to, for example, get the
Das war sein Read von der Meta.
Hold your flexes on your mages. That's a little bit less relevant when the Victor, the Syndra, and the Cassiopeia are all gone, but picks like Taliyah can still be in the mix, especially with a player like Closers. So good on Taliyah, as he showcased recently in the Kespa Cup. So, see, Camille's gone. Camille's a great first pick champion. Lee Sin's a great first pick champion, unfortunately gone. Same with Cassiopeia. Bard being banned by the Supers is also, I find, strange to me, just simply because I think Duckdom, his Caitlyn Bard lanes have been some of his best, and they're not going to have that as an opportunity later on in this draft. I don't think that was going to be something that B&K were hoping to first pick.
Ich mach sein Porsche immer und kannst empfehlen, schnell so gut Frühstück. Ich, ja. Ja, gute Nährwerte. Ich nehme 2 Packungen von More Porridge. Offensichtlich. Right, 2 Packungen More Porridge mit so circa, ja, kommt drauf an, so 400 Milliliter, 350 bis 400 Milliliter Wasser. Mit einem Scoop Whey. In dem Fall nehme ich gerade Banane-Milkshake. Das ist mein momentaner To-Go. Und that's it. Du kannst noch Beeren, Heidelbeeren oder was auch immer reinmachen, Himbeeren. Manche machen auch noch Erdnussbutter on top quasi, also Beeren into Erdnussbutter on top oder eine Banane oder sowas. Aber ich esse einfach raw mit einem Scoop Whey. Reicht mir vollkommen. Ich finde es sehr lecker. Mich füllt es bis zum Abendessen immer. Und kalorientechnisch sind es 542 Kalorien.
Do prefer the Taliyah quite a bit. Could lock Pantheon right now, because Pantheon's very high value across both rosters.
540 Kalorien ist das Frühstück mit 34 Gramm Carbs und 6 Gramm Fett und 85 Gramm Eiweiß.
Makes sense, and they're going to get it, and could be a support pick. It could be,
Also
this
super.
could be the bottom duo, and that's the scary thing here for the DN Supers right now. They have to keep that in mind. I don't think it will be, but it could be, and you have to think about your bottom duo as a result of that.
And the thing that I really love about this is the way B&K FierX played around.
Und ja, also wie lange hat es gedauert? 4 Minuten?
And sort of cheating tempo around.
So, wenn du vorm Wasserkocher stehst, dauert das Ding zu machen 3 Minuten. Ist sehr schnell gemacht.
And so back on track to get that one done. Closer does have Realm Warp that can kind of counter it, but I don't think it's really going to be enough, especially with how fast-paced B&K FierX have been playing.
Saw what they were able to do with Kellen's Shen, Stand United's, and now you've got 2 tools like that, not to mention, of course, teleports around the map.
Morgens faul und überlege halt, also, ich bin, wenn es um Foul geht, Ansprechpartner Nummer 1. Und also es sind wirklich 3 Minuten, sobald du vor dem Wasserkocher stehst. Und du kannst ja jeden Morgen quasi variieren, wie du willst. Kannst ja auch theoretisch Chunky Flavor oder sowas reinmachen.
Known and then go ahead and grab a
Schmeckt ja jeden Tag anders.
and protect it in the second bans. I think those are the 2 choices that they really have here.
I wouldn't mind just an Ambessa or something like that, but instead, they are going to give away that the Pantheon is definitely going into the jungle and pick up the Alistar here as the response. Kellen, bit notorious on this Alistar, but has had some fantastic games on it, especially more recently. Since those times, if you can remember back to 2023.
When your Pantheon's already in such a good spot with mid-jungle, you don't have to hide that. And you have counter pick, because they pick first pick, so you don't have to blind top here and protect it. You can just wait and see.
Yeah.
And that is one of the cool parts about this. I don't think Taliyah Alistar is going to be played in the bottom lane, but you certainly can just grab whatever 80 carry you want here as a response to the composition scene. The Ezreal is banned again.
Yeah, I imagine a Jhin ban here is pretty high on the list for the DN.
Mag die First Free von BFX deutlich mehr.
Try and like give a little bit of fighting power to that bottom lane. But we'll see what is going to be paired with this Alistar. We know that it's not really going to be a winning lane no matter what they do.
There's a lot of really strong picks here for B&K. Obviously, the Alistar's not going to be great at level 1, but could even go Misfortune this draft because there's so much setup for it, as they want to give Dudu a more stable top lane matchup, is what it's looking like here with the Vayne ban they opt for. At least initially, they could still ban Jhin.
Yep. I think this is all about the Ambessa, Gnar, Renekton type trio.
Crazy we haven't
which one
seen
they're going to be
Ambessa.
aiming for. Exactly right. Ambessa has been one of the most popular champions, was the most played or the most picked in the Kesper Cup over the last couple of weeks.
Ban.
There it
Geht
goes.
es.
So not a surprise to see that.
Gnar-Bann. Ja, oder?
So I imagine now Clear can just lock the Gnar and kind of feel all right about it. Dudu will probably go for a Renekton or something like that as a response. But it doesn't really make you feel like, ooh, DN Supers have checkmate or something like that, unless they go for something a bit weird towards that top side. See what this last ban is going to be. You can even just ban Gnar here. We have seen a bit of that as well. And it will be the Varus taken away.
They want Gnar, but now Clear can just take it. They don't have to counterpick for the top lane. They can just take it away with all of
Wie Olaf dann, oder was?
Yeah, and then you can pick for the best matchup you want at the bottom lane.
Ich pick jetzt Gnar, dann kommt Olaf, oder was von Dudu?
So heavily indexing into, I feel like such a small possibility, right, that they'll get their hands on the Gnar. Will be the Sivir that comes through here.
Was?
All right.
Perhaps just trying to deny that because, I mean, they already have the Alistar on their side, so, I mean, it's going to feel pretty free here.
It's a weird Sivir angle, I would say. That Gnar that you were talking about, maybe
Es wird ihn zu
just
picken.
has an answer for it, you know, has an idea.
Also Sivir ist
about
okay,
what
aber
he
es
wants
wird
to be
jetzt zu picken.
playing.
I mean, Sivir Tristana has a lot of late game damage.
That is true. Not a lot of tankiness, but they do have an Alistar. So you can really be frontline with that Unbreakable Will if you can time your fights correctly around
Feels
that
like they're
ultimate.
scared of something. They're like, this seems too easy. What is he gonna pick? They wait all the way till the end of the time before they lock that one down. And Duckdom is gonna go Kai'Sa.
All right. Kai'Sa into Sivir. So you're not exactly going to win the wave push, but the amount of drive that is on this DN Supers roster.
Who could have seen it coming?
Definitely not us, Wolf. Absolutely not. We've never seen Shu play ever.
She was like, that's right. He's watching his point. That's my thing. Everybody's doing it now.
Ich weiß nicht so ganz, welchen Draft ich besser
So
finde.
you ban the Varus and the Vayne.
Aber ich habe das Gefühl, die haben wieder wenig Ahnung für Sivir.
Is the more conditional
Wenig
part of
Antworten
the
für Sivir,
engage
sorry.
setup for a Kai'Sa dive composition, the toughest part to pull off. You're playing Gnar, by the way, into the Pantheon and the eventual Weaver's Walls of the Talia. Well, they have so much setup for solo kills anyways, even without that help. And now you're also going to have to try to play Kai'Sa and get out of lane. I don't see it. There's too many things that can go wrong here for DN Supers.
Yeah, and Clear can really be like the tennis master as well in a composition like this, right? Gnar wants to be bouncing forward, finding those big ultis. Nefiri wants to be setting up the ult in order to get all of those resets. You can just be buster shotted away from both of those abilities to deny any sort of usefulness moving into later stages of the game. Not only is Tristana very, very good in the lane against the Gnar, but you're also then in a great spot in later game team fights to play disengage and get everyone where you need them to be in order to make these fights work. I actually really like what BNK FearX have done once again in Champion Select in this series. DN Supers well and truly on the back foot.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is going to be a very difficult time here for our team that are on such an incredible losing streak. But it's when
Kann aber statt Way plus Polish theoretisch aus Polish mit einem Chunky und ein paar WM mischen. Ja genau, natürlich. Ich glaube nicht viele machen noch Way extra rein. Beeren ist glaube ich Standard. Beeren, Bananen, das in die Richtung. Aber ja, also natürlich, ne? Kannst du 100% machen.
I mean, that was the right time for the fan chant to come out. They do get the flash out of the Alistar. So already that lane was going to be a little bit tough. That is going to continue to be so. As he does.
Gibt's ja auch, wenn du auf TikTok oder so weiter nach Porridge-Rezepten und so suchst, da gibt's ja Tausende.
Alright, this is very awkward.
Wie gesagt, viele machen irgendwie Beeren plus dann noch Erdnussbutter drauf. So ein bisschen.
Can't one-shot those doggos with,
Viele lassen es auch über Nacht ziehen so.
This is the worst. If you're a jungler, you know this feeling. It's so awkward. It's okay.
Oh man, Peter is just hitting anchor after
hat Theo
anchor
dann
here in
gemacht?
this bottom lane. Ricochets are flying on through and actually doing a lot of work as Taeun.
Junge, wie kann DNS nach diesem ersten Trade den Trade verlieren am Ende? Das ist so krank. Aber I guess sie haben noch Barrier und Heal Up.
Yeah, it's
Deswegen ist es ein
pretty
bisschen
okay
besser.
for Taeun. It does have exhaust as well if they wanted to try to really further anything out of that at level 1. Still losing a lot of health. As Raptor has level 2 advantage here.
Oh dear. Shovel is just going to get stunned up. Does hit the level 2. But you can see Raptor with that full Q is going to get him down to 100 health, and Shovel's just going to have to go back.
Peter auch not.
Here from the more experienced LCK jungler.
He just walked up to his Raptors on vision and said, "This is a good matchup for me."
Yeah.
What are you going to do? And there was a late go over to the Krugs.
Chat anhaben in League of Legends. Fehler Nummer 1. Oh, die diven. Shovel ist tot.
This wave is
Shovel ist
so
komplett tot.
massive that Clear is pushing forward, and he picks up the turret aggro, and down goes
Clean.
Shovel. It's gorgeously played here
Clean.
by BNK FearX. And yeah, this Neferi, it's going to be a while before she's valuable.
So imagine all of the problems we talked about with the draft here for DNS. That, like, we didn't even talk about what could happen in the early jungle. We were talking about the lanes and also the team fighting later on in the comp.
Oh dear.
Speaking of lanes. We weren't talking about the fact that B&K were potentially going to, at 2 minutes into the game, remove a player from Summoner's Rift into a 5v4 game. So it gets...
DNS hat eine Series gegen KRX gewonnen, aber das war letzten Split. Also der Score wurde einfach übernommen quasi von letzten Split.
Nars begging for help, and Neferi's like, I can't help anybody, I need help! And he dies. The kill goes over, by the way, to the Tristana.
Exactly. Explosive charge, I think, took it down. And I loved how they orchestrated it, right? Like, Clear had the health bar, and so therefore he goes in, tanks up the turret. Rocket Jump is so powerful at being able to get out of there whenever you need to.
So let's just say, to put it simply, I think Raptor looked at the draft, and the lane stayed there on the top side after 2 bans, and Tristana comes through, and he's like, well, we win top and jungle, and we win them at the same time.
Yep. They absolutely did. 700 gold to lead here for this Trist. That's absolutely crazy.
In a matchup that for Dudu is miserable right now. That's without the lead. With the lead, I mean, I hope we don't look at this top lane too.
Und ja, DNS ist horrible. Also,
Look at the item. Picks up recurve already.
eine DNS-Series zu skippen ist kein Verbrechen, kein Kriegsverbrechen.
Depressing for the DN Supers as the 0 in the front column is basically everything. Hepa Pulverize comes down onto Closer, but he does manage to put Kellen in cow prison for a little moment. As Raptor is standing on a ward, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows about it. What is he going to do? Just leave the whole
wave? Zoned away from this whole wave!
And also Krugs, by the way.
Oh,
like,
God!
Peter, please!
Oh mein Gott, wir haben 4 gegen 4 hier oben.
Everybody!
Closer's coming, but Kellen and Vikla are going to get here first! The flash out of the way of the headbutt. And at least Dudu comes over for the scraps of that wave. But I mean, everyone's getting involved and they're still losing.
When you have such an inherent prio advantage and such a lead in an unfavorable matchup, it becomes an instant pressure point, right? And they're playing through Clear. So everyone on DNS is trying to do the overload principle you were talking about before. Where you're like, well, maybe we'll just show up with a lot of people and their pressure will actually then be relieved. But B&K are just like, no, there's literally no reason not to also have everyone up here and win the war of attrition. It's as if they just know they have more guns, more firepower. They're like, yeah, you can try to match us, but you'll also lose that. So, yeah, Duckdom a little bit late to return to lane, but he will match the CS for now there on the bottom side. And that is, I mean, he's got a cull.
Yeah.
They're just going to have to hunker down, but it's a bad time.
It's certainly not feeling like there are many positives.
I knew DNS was going to have a rough second half of the season. Well, we all did, I think, right? They can't magically fix everything. We were hoping to see a little bit more signs of life, but this isn't about DNS as much as it's about the draft and how good B&K have played both early games here through.
Richtig, was ich das erste Mal probiert habe. Mach beim Giveaway noch mit. Diesen Monat ist noch das letzte Mal, dass man beim Giveaway via Reinkaufen mitmacht. Ab nächsten Monat ist es for free. Kann jeder von euch mitmachen.
Trying to make sure that they can stay near the top of
Und danke, ich freue mich auf den Bericht.
Remember, it's do or die. You really need top 3. Otherwise,
Ich freue mich
it
auf den
all
Bericht.
just falls apart and your whole year ends very, very quickly. Dane and Kellen here just getting the push out here in this bottom lane. Things very, very even. And when it's a Siva and she's going extraordinarily even in lane, you know that you're feeling pretty good about it. Although I guess a Kaiser is not exactly going to be hard winning in the early levels either. Raptor now going to get Hex flashed on here by Peter, and the flash forward from close. They might be able
Raptor
just did come on through
ist
as
tot.
Shovel, is going to be able to get over that wall and make sure that this Pantheon is going down. So an answering kill here finally for the DN Supers.
And this is Peter outpacing Kellen on this one to give them the numbers advantage. So this time, the match isn't there for B&K, and it is a crisp setup for the side of the DN Supers. And a kill goes over to Closer, so they get one lane with an advantage out of this. So definitely a big bounce back, but the woes will continue elsewhere.
Yeah, Doctom taking a lot of damage here. Peter is able to offer a really nice re-engage. Remember, Kellen doesn't have the ulti just yet, so that damage is going to stick a little bit more than it otherwise would. Good exhaust here onto Dudu to keep Clear alive, who's rocket jumping in, trying to utilize that summoner
Ja, dieses Matchup ist super nasty, aber was ich nicht mag, ist wie die Item-Bild. Ich glaube, der geht's Kraken und dann Navori und das macht keinen Damage. Das macht keinen Damage.
And isn't going to be able to finish off that kill. The flash comes through as the traded ultimate comes on down. But now the Realm Warp is going to bring a doggo and a rise towards his top lane. And it's a solo kill for Dudu as the assists are denied.
Well, I think there's a lot going on in that play there from Clear. He got super greedy. He tried to get a little cute with it. I think initially when he actually rocket jumped forward there, he wanted to get the flash out of Dudu because he was like, oh, he probably thinks Raptor hit 6 and this is about to be a kill and he's going to ult over. But that was not actually, in fact, the case. We're going to go way back to this catch here by Peter, where they had control vision and Kellen was not here. But on the top side, he decided, like, okay, I'm going to try to get his flash with that hop forward here because he exhausts initially. And it makes this hop happen. You'll see it in just a second here. And I think he was hoping Dudu would flash there and that would be the end of it. But instead, Dudu just is like, no, I'm still Mega. I'm fine here. I don't think your Pantheon is coming. And it actually buys enough time for the Realm Warp to come up. The Buster Shot pushes Dudu away, but isn't enough to kill. And now Clear is just up a creek without a paddle here and just ultimately will get taken out. They do, of course, commit the Realm Warp for this, but it's well worth it.
Well, we've got another Pulverize coming on in, and as Kellen is likely to just die, there is the cow going down, but the bounce on in from Clear, Goomba stomping everyone, gets the first reset, and the Pantheon is on a double kill now. Taeun is just racing forward, grabs his kill, and that is 3 on the floor already. BK FearX, I mean, it was a little bit of a rough time, but that time is now over, and Doctom is also going to be taken out, threads the volleys beautifully. That is 4 kills for 1.
So the good news was they killed the Tristana. The bad news was everything that happened after that, and I'm not entirely sure how that all broke out because we came into it
Ja, Game is over.
in the middle of Raptor.
Erneut, man kann...
Or impaling them, I suppose, in this case, on the Pantheon. As Closer gets caught initially here by Kellen.
Man kann DNS Series eigentlich skippen, weil die sind so unglaublich schlecht, die werden nicht gewinnen.
This is an amazing follow-up.
Die sind so unglaublich schlecht.
Out of this, but he gets the reset and gets away, and now Sharvel's too far forward. And it's just an early, great fight here for Taeun. Like, he's doing so much damage because he's set up so well. DNS tried to pull the trigger on this one. It backfires in a massive
wie gesagt,
way.
man verpasst
We're still in the
nichts.
early game. Pantheon early does a ton of damage.
He really does. And Clear, once he's done with his Kraken Slayer or whatever he's building first, I want him to build a Jack Shows or something like that, man. Like, this Tristana in the front line, he was tanking up so well. It was kind of crazy. He gets himself the rocket jump, gets himself out of there.
When you look at all the damage they have in this fight, Tristana plus Sivir plus Pantheon early game damage, it's just too much damage for you to be in range of all of that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, the woes for DNS continue. It looked like they were on the up just a little bit. You know, after that earlier play, managing to grab that kill for Dudu onto Clear. But now Dudu's wave is in a really awkward spot. Explosive charge comes in. There's a grand starfall as Dudu does go the correct direction. The flash.
Der AD Carries homeless auf top. Ich meine, die Antwort auf nah ist AD Carries oder sind AD Carries, Entschuldigung.
Clean.
They do get Dudu out of there.
But I mean, he's still got all the same problems. He's still not getting that wave. He's still super far away, but at least he doesn't die. This time the Pantheon comes. I think Clear flash there because his exhaust was like 3 seconds away, so he was hoping he was going to then be in exhaust range to catch him there, but the Realm Warp ruined all of his
War für den 11, ne? Ja, die Common Matchups in Pro ist
he's been looking for there on the top side outside of the initial one that did go through.
einfach AD Carries, dadurch, dass Vayne aber gebannt war. Vayne und Varus gebannt waren, die rausgefallen.
One item is going to be pretty big here for Clear, who is 20 CS up and feeling very, very good about how this game is going right now. 600 gold isn't the end of the world, but 800 gold is getting close to that as Taeun has a gigantic lead. And Doctom, yeah, not going to be really standing up to this.
67% DNS, warum?
almost instantly.
Aber jetzt sind 4 Leute zu 3, also es ist nicht so, als ob viel gesetzt wurde.
Just you know, a bunch of random stuff here from Dr. How is he supposed to use 2 bows and arrows? You know, like that's impossible. That's not a dual-wield weapon, Wolf.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen that in like a Turok game before.
Turok. Classic.
I feel like weird stuff happens in that series of games.
It's weirdly cool, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I kind of like that. I respect it for what it is. Okay, there's an ulti coming on through from Shovel. Vikla tried to catch it, but it does not quite work out there. So the Talia will be taken out. Kellen now in a little bit of trouble, but the resets are coming on in for this doggo. Raptor not going to be deterred from his Brambleback. Does manage to take that one down, but the first Drake looks to be taken here by the DN Supers, with Clear taking down a bunch of plates in this top lane.
Clear doesn't have his role quest completed, so he doesn't have his teleport, so he can't join the fight. So numbers game.
So, wie gesagt, also
bit of a Hail Mary, but like the last
gerne immer Feedback bei sowas.
It works out.
Okay.
DNS gegen SK würde gewinnen. Ich würde hoffen, SK. Ich würde doch hoffen, SK. DNS ist wirklich schlecht.
So that's going to stop them from pushing further in. Taeyeon at full health. It's going to be absolutely fine. Kellen just going to go back.
So it's a small win, right? It's something. We're starting to pick up a few more kills. The draft itself and the spikes that are being reached really fast here, though, for BNK across the board are the bigger problem. It's like, oh, Cole's about to cash in for Duckdom. It's about to cash in for Taeyeon as well.
Yeah.
The Tristana has still a lot of power in this top lane matchup. Now has teleport with the role quest completed. And what do you do as Charvel in this case? Like, where do you go? Where's your, okay, I got to patch holes everywhere. Where are we going? Where are we dropping?
Well, I think you just get a hole patch kit and you just go to the closest place and start patching. And Close is going to flash into the wall. And honestly, it feels like DNS as a team have kind of flashed into a wall this series.
Do you guys remember there was a player on Afrika? Hold on, we're going to have a little bit.
Kane?
Well, that was that one. I'm talking about perhaps a little bit.
Egal, Han war gegen DK, schaut ja gleich. Und die ist sehr spannend.
Speaking of Bang, his name was Moham, and he had bangs over his eyes.
Who did he just join in the LPL? I'm trying to remember.
All right, well,
he has recently moved over. It's okay. Here's a little bit of an option. Pulverize onto 2. Down goes Peter, but these health bars are getting lower. Doctom, will he find a killer instinct angle? That's the question. The explosive charge not going to quite kill, but gets pretty dang close. As Taeyeon just not even interested in that fight, is just going to be hanging out in this mid lane. Vikla taking a lot of damage. There is the numb.
Was machen die? Oh mein Gott, du kannst es dir nicht anschauen.
As we are running out.
Es ist so low.
And Charvel gonna have to bounce his way out of there. Not a whole lot of kills, but it is still BNK Fearex with control of the map.
I bring this Moham situation up because DNS was playing today in honor of the ex-Afrika sub player. I told the makeup people to give me the Moham today, right? I've got my bangs.
That was your look.
Yeah, I've got my bangs. You guys might have seen it earlier in my eyes here. Now, if you are a DNS fan this season, last year, and also in this team fight, unfortunately, where they're trying to pull the trigger here, Duckdom isn't here early, and they're going in the meat grinder of this Tristana, the Kraken Slayer. You want to do the Moham, which is to put any part of your hair over your eyes that you have, brush it over your face. If you got long hair, just put, you know, Digon's got 2 strands of long hair. You might actually be able to make like a little bandana over his eyes, a little blindfold. You got to do the Moham. Just don't watch this game. Don't watch this season. I just don't do it. Moham had it right. He knew early.
He did. Hopefully on Weibo he's going to get a haircut and things are going to work out. Thanks Ox for the update. Couldn't quite remember which team he joined, but there it is. He's on Weibo Gaming now. It's okay. BNK Fearex, they are going to have their hair out of their eyes. They are just very, very happily looking at a Summoner's Rift that belongs to them at this point in time. Vikla is in fact building walls and missing seismic shoves, so maybe he does need to just move the hair out of the way just a little. But the Rift Herald is still going to be taken here by Raptor. It's a 3,000 gold lead.
I mean, if you're a BNK fan right now, as it turns out, shave your head. You know?
Oh, no.
Get contact lenses, you know, get LASIK. Just take a good look at it.
Pretend you're joining the military or something like that, you know. All right, Vikla could be in a little bit of trouble here. Throws Closer around. Depth charge comes in. Decent combo there from Peter. And Talia is...
Das Problem an diesen Games ist, die können halt auch noch lange gehen. Das ist das Schlimmste hieran. Oh, geht nicht. Okay, geht nicht für Navori Second. Das finde ich gut. Dieser Kraken into Navori-Bit ist mein Endgegner.
And Closer, you know, he was the one who was able to help make that play topside there, picked up a kill early. He's been able to side lane a lot. He has a huge farm lead, and he is ahead. Is Clear
Wow.
Yep. Able
Mini
to
jump.
answer the hop crush with a rocket jump.
4 people went topside for that, and it did not.
Hey, they got the W on cooldown. Okay, Wolf.
Good point.
Yeah, see?
Fair
You thought that it was for nothing, but actually, it's for, you know, a few seconds of W.
The Rise on the other side, still up 30 farms, still the only real goal lead in this game. He wasn't touched. He wasn't up there with everybody else. He didn't have real morph.
I mean, he killed Vikla like a little bit ago.
Yeah.
There you go. There's something.
They also did delay the kill on this turret, which is value 0, as the award says when you kill it on this patch.
Yeah.
But
I thought we were just never going to mention that.
no, I know. Well, someone mentioned it. Yeah, I think Ox mentioned it briefly.
I guess we didn't talk about not mentioning, but I thought that was because we were busy not mentioning it.
Yeah, it's a little floating number, floating value thing. The floating value in this game for BNK is actually smaller than you might expect at 2.7K. Flash coming back up here for Raptor. They have Hextech Dragon on the mind. It is a late second dragon, unlike last game where they speed ran.
They really did.
And it'll be their first dragon of the game if they do get it. They're going to use the Herald here to take out this bottom turret. There's no other outers on the map.
This is going to give them so much control of the map as well. I don't think it's going to be realistic for the DN Supers to get over towards contesting this Hextech Dragon.
They're kind of like, you cleared out my stock. I don't really have anything left for you.
Yeah. Well, Pulverize is going to catch Shovel on the
Außerdem, je mehr Games ich von alles da sehe, desto mehr bin ich davon überzeugt, dass er irgendwo mies OP ist.
Boomerangs of Taeun takes a whole bunch of damage there. Dudu is at least spending some spare time in this top lane, taking out the first turret of the game for the DN Supers. That might be able to get them a little bit of gold respite.
Do we get double Ocean?
We'll see. It is possible. I'm expecting an Infernal Soul this game.
Okay.
I don't know why.
The reason I asked is because my expectation...
it is! Look at you, Wolf.
I had a feeling. I was going to mention it because my expectation, not about Dragon Soul, is that we will not see a Soul this game.
Oh.
You know, with 1 Drake apiece at 18.5 minutes, I think it's just not going to really be the big thing.
Well, it's definitely not going to be the big thing. I think we might fight over some of them because that's what we like to do, fighting over dragons. But yeah, if we make it like another... What,
Und da haben wir das Problem, dass der Rise dann irgendwann OP ist, ne? Das Problem haben wir dann auch noch. Also das ist toll.
With the Tristana pushing with a Sivir, controlling wave lane. See how long DNS can last. Now, if they do get to a game state here where they have
Morgen ist Genji T1 um 10 Uhr und LPL war nichts,
he
ne?
has a full item down right now. Well, I mean about like...
Ja, morgen ist AR gegen EDG.
He's got a pickaxe.
Yeah.
Opening Game ist Genji gegen T1, das ist eigentlich auch geil, ne? Ja, das heißt, wir machen das erste Game AR gegen EDG um 9. Und dann 10 Uhr Genji T1 und dann machen wir den Rest von WE gegen BLG. Ja, das ist gut.
And now Vikla's going to try and wall his way out. And you know what? He'll be successful! Oh man, they cannot catch a break. Clear is going to kill the doggo here in the tribe.
Sie wird das dann auch fair.
One of the first times ever Caster cursed a player who wasn't doing well. I was like, look, Duckdown, maybe he could get back in this one.
And he looked like he could, Wolf!
And then he looked like he was going to get back in it. But he unfortunately did not get back in it, as this is Charvel getting caught here. Kellen denies him from getting over the wall. And Raptor's like, ooh, any bonus on the top side does, of course, redirect as he realizes he cannot alone chase down that Gnar. But Charvel is the casualty here. Clear picks up another kill on this Tristana.
I'm frustrated, man. I'm frustrated that Vikla survived. He shouldn't have survived that. And Closer was almost able to pick him off the wall as well, but he couldn't. Oh.
It was super close.
All right, well, I'm going to have to try and put that from my mind. As Kellen, he does find Closer and Peter here. There's a blast cone, but he gets caught out of the air by Peter. That was kind of beautifully done. But the Unbreakable Will just buys all the time that Kellen could ever want, and he's able to walk his way out. Oh, Void's, wow, how did Raptor avoid
Das ist ein
that?
Banner über dem Chat, kann derzeit nach vorn ist, triggert mein innerer Monk sehr.
Like between his shield and his body, that's where the Void Seeker was.
Yeah.
Bin ich machtlos.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty interesting little interaction there. Closer's Rod of Ages has reached its aging point. Is that what we call it?
Aging point?
I think it's actually just called a transformation point. Right?
Yeah, well, I've never really thought of giving it a name, to be honest.
Yeah,
well, I think we can go with aging point. I think that's
It's
great.
about to age.
When would you say my aging point is, Wolf? When will I be considered a grown-up?
In 10 minutes. Just like Rod of Ages.
Ah, it's just like Rod of Ages.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is that like every 10
ask,
minutes?
It's 10 minutes right after that.
Ah, wow.
Yep.
Oh, I've been wasting my life. Okay, everyone in chat, can you please just ask when you're gonna grow up, because then we'll give you that 10-minute timer.
You put a close eye on the timestamp in the chat.
Yeah.
Then you can really know exactly when.
And theoretically, we could all grow up together, or something. All right. It's
I'm never gonna ask. I'm Peter Panning this whole
I was
conversation.
gonna say, like, I kind of wish, I kind of regret it, you know? Like, what's it gonna mean when I become an adult? Oh, I don't even know. All right, 3.6K is the advantage here for BNK FureX. There is a
Ja, 3.6K, aber fühlt sich wieder an wie 6 oder so. 6, 7. LDR 2 ist mal im OP. Base Armor ist halt sehr gut nah. Also wenn wir jetzt schon Tabis plus Randuin sehen. Plus Base Item, Base Armor ergibt schon Sinn. Frage ist, was gehst du sonst? Mit Krankenslayer First ist ein bisschen komisch, ne? Gehst du Navori, hast du kein Damage, gehst du AI, Second, also 25% AI. Auch nicht geil. Also ich glaube, die anderen Optionen sind einfach nicht sehr gut. Also LDR bietet sich da schon, denke ich, gut an. LDR Second, AI Third, dann Navori. Good item build. Hex Optics könntest du gehen, aber dann machst du auch wenig Damage.
So we'll be able to keep himself alive. Still, turret does go down, and this is what Tristana loves to do. She's drawing beads, right, level 15, so that passive is stacking up the range. And yeah, Closer, he's parked himself in a side lane. This is kind of what he did against the Bros as well. Where he's just making money elsewhere. The problem is the game is just kind of falling apart, and he's going to get punted around a bit and does manage to flash away, but that is both summoners invested just for some plates.
Aqua von 17.
Yeah, Closer's, just like in that game against Bro, I mean, he actually ended up making a ton of impact on the Talia after he hit in side lanes and got a ton of money. In this game, he's basically trying to not only kind of absolve himself of all blame of what's going on in this game,
yeah,
but B, getting a lot of money, has level 16 around the corner on this Rise, you know, is looking to maybe be able to actualize if this game goes on a few more minutes where they'll have any relevant team fights, but it's looking a little tough right now. It's only the second dragon here for BNK, like we said, you know, or at least I said, not an expectation of an impactful soul situation here, but means that Closer has some extra time, right? Duckdom is very far behind, which is the issue. It's not like Duckdom's gonna farm it up and scale up and be a crazy scaling threat later on. He needs agency, he needs setup from his teammates. The Randuins will maybe help Dudu get into a position where he could actually gnar some people into a wall.
Yep, I do think that like Dudu and Peter have the tools.
Closer kann eine Win-Condition sein, ja, eben. Wenn er 3 Amps bekommt und die bekommt er for free, maybe. Das Game ist halt auch noch, naja, es ist nicht close, aber es ist ein bisschen langsam, weil eben nur 2 Drakes drin sind. Frage ist, ob sie Nash starten könnten. Die haben auf jeden Fall den DPS dafür. Also sie haben definitiv den DPS für Nash.
It's IE is done now for Taeyeon. It's these things that are bigger. The IE, the vision, lack of vision rather, the lack of agency for this pseudo dive comp with the Kaisa. That speaks bigger volumes than the goal, which is why we're basically casting this entire game like it's an obituary rather than DNS have a chance to get back into it. There is a chance if mistakes are made. Speaking of mistakes made.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, Dudu is going to be pushed away here. Taeyeon with his newly built Infinity Edge you just mentioned.
Ja, Nash startet jetzt. Okay. Damit wird es schneller gemacht.
Unable to find the Q, and the flash out from Sharvel will get him out of there somewhat, but Clear didn't get the explosive. Oh, hasn't charged the explosive charge, but there's the kill. And no real escape here from the Tristana, and it should be.
Yep, damit wird das Game auf jeden Fall schnell gemacht.
Closer's ready to actualize though, Wolf. We are actually ready to game.
That's what he's been spending this whole game doing. I remember when Actualizer first came out, Faker was in a game state like this and was able to farm up to Actualizer and carried the last team fight and made a comeback happen on Rise. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen for Closer here, but he's going to have to try. Dudu TP top, but they have no vision. Kellen's wrapping around.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. He does manage to jump forward.
Also ich spiele jetzt auch, also jetzt nicht falsch verstehen. Ich glaube, BFX spielt jetzt auch nicht verkehrt oder sowas, ne? Ich weiß nicht, ob sie das Game schneller halt acceleraten können. Wahrscheinlich schon, ich meine, sie spielen mit Talia Pantheon. Aber so ist natürlich okay. Ich meine, 5000 Gold bei 25 Minuten ist valid. Mit jetzt Nash. Und da kommt die halt fein scaled.
And they move to a 5,400 gold advantage. Inner turrets, a couple of them left available here, so BNK can even further the coffers.
And we've seen a lot of games on this patch where the gold lead is like 9,000, 10,000 at 26 minutes, and the game is completely done. Part of the reason why the gold is so even here is this is just due to trying to be relatively impactful in any sort of way and try to be a living ward here to try to set information. They don't have a jungler. There's no steal. Is that, like, A, Closer farmed a ton and actually has a gold lead in this game, and B, the gold is spread between everyone. Like, everyone's ahead, but it's not like one person is the problem that could be solved by DNS. They solve every problem.
Das ist eine gute Frage, warum die Classic
But
noch so
Baron, 3
aussieht.
grubs, these turrets are just not gonna last.
I also think that Clear went back and bought Navori straight up after the
Peter.
the Lord Dom, so he is
Peter, du bist tot.
on this Tristana. Dudu does get hit by Pulverized. Now Sharble looking for a bit of a flank angle, but is spotted on the control ward. BNK all grouped up, just trying to work out which
Geiles Exhaust.
part
Zum Sloan,
of
ja.
this fork to pick off, and
Super, Mann.
it's going to be Sharble that draws that.
Und die Waves weiterhin gebufft, super.
Draw. And the rest of them now move over. It's another kill onto the jungler. It's another opportunity to go for even more in this game. There's still a minute and a half on the Drake. Probably turrets is what they're going to be looking for, but now Kellen turns it into a 3-man Pulverize, and Raptor wraps around, finds the
Ja, ich habe das Gefühl, DNS Heroes kannst du wirklich einfach skippen.
flashes forward.
Die sind schon extrem schlecht.
Yet again, and Ebba Pulv is going to connect onto Closer in the backline. It's a wipe.
Gegen wieder DNS gewonnen, KRX, aber das ist schon ein Monat, also unankelig Monate her. Das war im Anfang Springsplit, glaube ich. Ich glaube, das war direkt die erste Series, wenn ich mich recht entsinne. Ich glaube, die haben 1-0 gestartet sogar. Und haben dann 17 am Stück verloren. Oder jetzt 18. GG.
And I think a lot of this came down to draft, but